WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something else from Adelphi. This time it's a 17-year-old Mortlach. Wow. So, vintage 2003, bottle 2021, 17 years old from a refill sherry hogshead. Cask number 800263, 267 bottles worldwide, 55.5% ABV, and it's whiskey base number 177914. I paid 185 euros for this bottle, and at the moment the standard price is between 205 and 215 over here in Europe. So 700 milliliters. Now let's do a little bit of math. All right, this is 17 years old. This was actually first, the refill was filled in 2003. So the bottle of the sherry butt was, sorry, it's a refill sherry hogshead. The sherry hogshead was actually filled up maybe 12 years before that. So we're talking about 1990 roundabout. Around 1990, they stopped using Paxaret. So is this maybe one of these old-fashioned sherry type of moments? I certainly hope so. What am I going to compare it to? I'm going to compare it to something that is not old-fashioned, but rather new-fashioned. This is the Lady of the Glen. This is Gregor Hanna. He hand-picks and hand-selects all his barrels, and this is an 11-year-old Mortlach. If you're looking for the whiskey base number, this is going to be 185891. So 2010 is when it was distilled, 2021 is when it was bottled, and this is an Oloroso sherry hogshead, 300 bottles, 55.1 ABV, and this is about 120 euros. So this seems like a lot of money, 120 euros for 11 years. Actually, the 185 for the 17 years is almost exactly the same price of value for money per year. So the only difference, of course, this is the new sherry syrup. I'm going to call it sherry syrup that are in these seasoned casks. And this is a refill sherry hogshead, which is actually never used in the sherry industry. So it's also a sherry seasoned cask, but I have the feeling they use different sherry seasoning material. First of all, look at these colors. Yeah, this is a standard yellowish type of orange type of amber. This is the new sherry brown red type of yuckiness. Why do I say yuckiness? Well, because we have that same old flavor time and time and time again. It overlaps everything else in the bottle. You have very little, if at all, any type of the distillery character comes through. It's just that sherry momentum that absolutely bulldozers everything else away. And this has a lot of good character. Now, this is a very nice nose. Honey, herbalness. I'm going to go for spearmint as well. Light cranberries in there. More of the yellow, the bright cranberries instead of the red cranberries. A little bit of a honey moment. I like this a lot. This is very, very good. Some people say Mortlach is a little meaty. There's a little bit of that sulfur in there from distillation. It's a little bit more of a, it's not a smooth and silky type of whiskey. It's more of a rugged type of whiskey, which I would agree in some parts here. Now, my first question of the day is, what is your favorite Mortlach bottling? It could be a distiller's edition or a distillery bottle, an original bottling, or it could be an independent bottling. Which one do you like the best? Now, the Lady of the Glen, the 11-year-old Mortlach over here. On the nose, the flavors are much more subdued, amazingly, or actually surprisingly. There is a tiny little bit of a young, fresh alcohol moment with a syrupy type of berry moment. This has so much more. This I really like. 55.5, 55.1. 11 years, 17 years. 185, 120. Both non-chilled filtered, both natural color. Cheers. It's got a tiny little bit too much heat for me. I get a spearmint. That's good. That's really good. I had that in my German whiskey review before this. I was not expecting something at such a high level. This is a complex whiskey. This has transition. This has complexity. This is something you could spend an evening, an hour, hours with dissecting and enjoying. And it has that old sherry, that old school sherry factor here. I really like. This is going to be a B whiskey for me. Value for money, C minus. Now, there are some of us out there that would say 185 for an old school sherry whiskey, 17-year-old Mortlach. Take my money. Yeah, take my money. There's not often you get a 17-year-old Mortlach from that old school sherry cask. That's it. This is fabulous. This is really, really nice. But I can buy 5 bottles of Lot 40 for the same price as one of these bottles. It's just not worth that flavor experience for me. It is a B, it is a solid B, but a value for money is C minus. Only the people that have, I don't know if I'm going to say, have enough money, have a comfortable a financial arrangement or financial situation should consider buying this bottle. If you do see it, and if you have the chance to try it before you can buy it, please do. You will, I think, be blown away and happily give that person your money. And if you have to buy it before you can try it, please give them your money anyways and go home and try it and go, oh, look, Jason was right. This is an amazing bottle of whiskey all by itself. This, on the other hand, is not amazing. I'm sorry, Gregor Hanna. I'm not a big fan of this one bottle. There were, what was the best bottle that we had here from the Lady of the Glen? That was our winner of the night with the Fettercan. Yes, the Fettercan. I think it was a 12-year-old. It was your independent bottle from a bourbon barrel. That was amazing. That was a whiskey where I actually bought 3 more bottles and I'm going to distribute to other people along the way. But this is just the new school sherry syrup that I'm just not digging. I'm just not getting it. This could have been a Mortlach. This could have been a Glen Adelphi. This could have been a Balvenie. It could have been a Glenfarclas. It could have been all these different things. I just don't know. That character of that sherry syrup just bulldozers everything out and just doesn't make this whiskey as enjoyable as this old school 17-year-old Mortlach from Adelphi. Adelphi apparently receives a lot of casks and they take 4%. So 96 of 100 casks that they receive, they reject and say, nope, not up to our standard. This apparently was, and I must totally agree, yummy, yummy, yummy. Solid B. Value for money, C minus is just too expensive for a normal person going around buying bottles. 200 euros, just a little bit too much, but this is nice. So, as I mentioned, my first question was, what is your favorite Mortlach bottling? Is it the original bottling, maybe a 16, a 14, a 12, whatever? Or is it an independent bottling? There are so many out there. And my second question of the day is, where else do you get this old school sherry flavors? Could you give me a bottle? Probably going to be an independent bottler, probably going to be something like a single cask. I probably won't be able to get my hands on it, but if you know of anything else where I can get this beautiful, beautiful moment of perfect balance between distillery character and the cask, where it just reaches a form of perfection, please write down a Whiskybase number or a detailed description of what the bottle is with the name of the distillery, the year, the ABV and all that, so I can go and find maybe one of those and try it and enjoy it as well. All right, thank you very much. This is WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Europe, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Both of these are single casks. One is 267, one is 300. This is where you should invest your money if you have enough to do so. Otherwise, sorry, buy something else. There's other things out there that are nice, but this is really nice. Thank you very much. All the best. See you soon. Whiskey Jason. Bye-bye.